Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today we're gonna meet the boss of POWERMAN Malaysia, Jeffrey Ross. So we're gonna ask him about POWERMAN Malaysia 2024, this coming 8 and 9 June. And of course, we're gonna get to know him better, the man behind POWERMAN Malaysia. Watch this video till the end. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay,
I
let's
just
go.
got in to your class.
Nice and slow, control.
Now we're gonna do hill training.
Always got good hills, especially in Malaysia. There's not many flat races here. You got to practice a bit on the hills. No one likes to run a hill, so it's good to do in a group. You're going to work hard on the hill. Hill builds a lot of glute strength when you're really put.
This is 30-second run maximum. So this is like first time. Really tough. Ooh. Is it good?
I think it's beautiful.
You feel good?
Feel very good.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
You alright? You alright? Still can go a few more.
yeah.
Bro, how long you have joined this class? Since when?
2016.
Alright.
We now just completed 2 sets of run uphill.
Alright.
Very hard, very tough. So we are going to continue after this for the 3rd set.
Yeah.
Run uphill.
Go, 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 go.
Tough.
So how long you have joined this group, this class?
This is just my 3rd session.
Alright. So you already signed up?
Yes, I have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright. So are you going for big events soon?
I have got a few half marathons coming up, but
Uh-huh.
I joined them because I'm training for my full in October.
Okay, see you there.
Yes, definitely.
I heard you're joining POWERMAN Malaysia, right?
That's right.
Classic.
Classic.
So this be your first time, is it?
Fourth, yeah.
Alright.
10-60-10.
So how was it, the class today?
Yeah, Jeff beats you. Horrible man.
Okay, see you in POWERMAN Malaysia.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy it, I believe.
Take care, yeah.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today we're gonna meet the man behind the POWERMAN itself, Jeffrey Ross, right?
Yeah.
But we can call you Jeff, right?
Please, yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, good morning. So actually today, Jeff asked me to meet him. He said there's a running class. I thought he's having a class, you know, he's joining a class, but he himself is a coach for the running class. All right, that's interesting. How inspiring.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Now I know that, you know, to be good, to be strong in running, you also you can do like workouts, right? Like what you did just now. Do you agree?
Yeah. You must get out your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
and warming up very thoroughly is really important. So even the warm-up drills in the class, people find pretty tiring, but it's good. Your body adapts to that very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to train.
I've been following your Instagram, your social media, that I've seen you've been busy with these 6 world marathon majors.
Yeah.
So what is that all about?
Stupid, right? Yeah, that's been taking up a lot of time and energy. So yeah, as you rightly say, I'm racing this year all 6 world marathon majors. So Tokyo, Boston, London, Berlin, Chicago, and New York. That's the 6.
All right.
Every runner, every marathon runner wants to race those events in their life, and so do I, but I decided I'll just try and do it all in 1 year, see if I can do that. So it was about a year of planning, and to get the entries was extremely difficult, but I managed to do that, and now I just have to run them. So I've got 3 to go.
3 to go. All right. You did 3.
3 down, 3 to go. Yeah, it's been quite tough, I must admit, but very enjoyable, and I'm very privileged. Oops, very privileged to have the chance to do it. So yeah, I'm trying to raise money for charity as well, for sure. That's probably the main objective.
So
yeah.
you did 3 Boston. Is it New York? London?
Tokyo was the first.
Tokyo, okay.
And
Tokyo.
Boston and London.
All right.
Yeah, but Boston to London was 6 days difference, so that was that was pretty tough.
Yeah, I heard Boston was tough, right? Is it the toughest among the 3?
Yeah, probably. Or for those 3, yes, yeah. And the conditions were very hot, so it was challenging and it was hilly. But you know, I did my best, but it was a tough race. Yeah.
When you say hot, how is it different? Hot in Boston and hot in Malaysia?
Yeah, I mean, I like the heat. I'm Scottish, so the reason I'm in Malaysia is because I love the weather. And,
All right.
normally I'm quite good in the heat, but it was a really dry, hot sun. Hard to explain. I didn't expect to struggle, but they start the race at 10 a.m. And there's a lot of waiting before. So we're pretty dehydrated actually, even on the start line. So it was tough, but same for everyone. Learn from it.
So normally, what is your average marathon time?
Well, I was looking to run 2 hours 50. That was the
Ooh.
goal. Whoops.
Hey, careful.
But it's easy on paper, right? But you know, anything under 3 hours is good, right?
Wow.
So, yeah, that's the target.
But among the 3 that you have done, which one is the fastest?
So Tokyo, I did
Tokyo.
2:57. It was okay, but my knee gave me a bit of problem at the end, so I lost some time at the end. I was going nicely. I was through 1 hour 21 exactly. So I was sort of on 2:42 pace.
All right.
But yeah, the second half, my knee let me down a bit. But never mind. But Berlin is now the focus. I've got 4 months rest. The body's very tired, I have to say, but 4 months rest. Really going to focus on Berlin. It's a flat one. It should be a fast one. I should have fresh legs by then, so I'm hoping to do a fast one now.
So normally, important event or marathon like this, what is your important weapon? Your shoe.
The shoe.
Yeah. What is your favorite shoe?
Yeah. You know, when you're at the big races, you see everyone is wearing the latest carbon plate shoe, and I think it's easy to get obsessed with it. And you know, the shoe only helps you so much. You still have to run, right? I was wearing for Tokyo. I wore the Nike Vaporfly, but I felt it didn't quite give me enough cushion. And so in Boston and London, I was lucky to get my hands on a Asics Meta Speed Sky, the latest one, the Paris.
All right.
And it felt great, but I think just because my legs were tired, I wasn't fully able to keep on my toes. And you know, with the carbon plate shoes, unless you're really running well on your 4 foot, I don't think they actually help you that much.
So you think shoes is how many % of the actual performance contributed to your performance, roughly?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's that important. A bit more cushion is more useful in the last hour, you know.
Yeah.
But in a shorter distance, the shoe makes a huge difference, I think. And of course, for elite runners, really elite runners, it's very important. But anything, you know, if you're running over 3 hours, I don't think the shoe actually makes more difference than, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. So,
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
Okay, we're gonna take 1 minute break. Then we talk about POWERMAN Malaysia. It's
Right.
gonna happen on 8 and 9 June.
Yes,
We're gonna talk about it in a minute.
great.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about POWERMAN Malaysia. It's gonna happen on the 8th and 9th of June. So I'm excited. I myself registered for Powerman Short. Last year I did Classic, so my face was ugly. So this time I want to look handsome and finish strong. So I'm gonna enjoy Powerman Short. But today we're gonna get more details from the man himself, Jeff. Jeff gonna talk about what is the latest or updates on Powerman Malaysia 2024 compared to 2023.
Well, I'm also looking forward to it. It's my job is event organizer, so I have a few event brands that we do, and Powerman is my favorite. I love doing Powerman event because the community is so passionate. It's a really serious participant base. People take it seriously. It's not a fun run. It's really a race you've got to work hard for and be proud to finish. So it's really rewarding being at the finish line of Powerman and seeing everyone coming in, especially the Classic, because the Classic's very tough. So which is why Nan's doing the easy one this year. So what is different this year? The big news is we have a corporate sponsor, which is fantastic. So Jeku is a Chinese car brand that's launching in Malaysia. So they are the title sponsors. It's Powerman Malaysia 2024 by Jeku. So that's really exciting for us. So we need to look after them and showcase their car. So we'll have a starter car this year with the Jeku leading out, and we'll have a sweeper car. So there's lots of stuff going on with that. We'll have a big hospitality tent this year at the finish. We've got a lot of VIPs coming from ministry, from police, from PPJ, from the sponsors. So we need to look after them. So that's going to be there. The run route's the same, which is good. The bike route's slightly different. We're just waiting on final police approval, and then we'll announce that, but we'll try and make it a bit less twisty. But the big change, and I know you'll thank me for this, anyone who's done the race, the transition zone. So last year was a great event, but we didn't get the transition zone right. I know it.
Yeah.
You had to walk a long way. So we learned our lesson. Everyone makes mistakes. If you make them twice, not acceptable. If you make it once, okay. So we've changed that. We're splitting this Classic and the Short because it is the world's biggest duathlon. It's a massive field.
Oh, it's still the largest.
Yeah, we've got 4,000. So there's a lot of people to be managing on a space, and so we've separated it this year. So you'll see a difference with that, which I hope you'll be happy with. What else? Actually, I've and you won't like this, but I've shortened the cutoff time. So there's a half hour less.
Yeah,
on the cutoff, which means there's a bit more pressure on the Classic to finish. Short's no problem, you've got plenty of time, but Classic.
So now Classic 5.5 hours?
5.5, yeah, and Short is 4.5. So
yeah,
we were asked to do that by the police. We have to work very closely with the authorities, and closing roads in Putrajaya is not easy. So that was the main reason, but we obviously researched the finish times, and there was only a few people that were very close to that last year. So a little bit of extra training if you're doing that. Make sure you're aware of the cutoff times. We'll put out some comms on when you need to be at each segment of the race to make sure no one's surprised by that.
Yeah. For those who are still new in Powerman, so what are some of the rules that you think they should know?
Yeah, good question. So we always love to see the newbies, and there's plenty of newbies, which is great. So transition zone, I think, is one thing that, unless you do a race, you don't practice that. So it's worth researching that. Look at some videos online of how to do a good transition. Think about what you're going to put in the transition zone and how you can save time in the transition zone, because it's quite easy to lose a lot of time if you're not focused on that.
Yeah. Normally they will ask about type of bikes.
Yeah. So the only really rules we apply is like you must have the big wheels. We don't allow the short wheels, no folding bikes. But you can come on a mountain bike. You don't have to have a very expensive bike, but most people seem to have good bikes, racing bike, tri-bike, that's fine. Aero bars are allowed, no problem, because it's a non-drafting event.
Non-drafting, that's important for them to know.
So non-drafting means you got to keep some distance off the wheels.
Yep.
It's not easy when it's a big field, and we do our best to patrol it, but it has to be self-patrolled. A lot of people moan about that after, and yes, we have marshals on on bikes from the Malaysia Triathlon Association, MTA. But we do penalise people. Last year, I think we had 30 penalties given for drafting. People maybe don't see that, but ultimately, it's got to be self-patrolled. So please be aware of that. Don't sit on the back of someone.
Yeah. And how about small things like are you allowed to wear earphones, things like that? Even nowadays, there's a new kind of headphone, like it's still open.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah.
That kind of.
We don't allow it, and we'll be putting comms out about that. Unfortunately, not everyone adheres to that. We do it for everyone's safety. Like same when you run. If you have earphones, you're not aware of what's going on, and we want everyone to enjoy the race and to be safe. That's the primary objective. So please don't wear earphones. Please don't be using cameras. Especially on the bike. I know we can't stop it everywhere like, on the run.
And all those dangerous, right?
I mean, please try not to.
Yeah.
This year we've got a bigger photography team, and we've got a new platform that we'll be using for the photos. That's one more important change that we'll do better this year. Last year wasn't very good, so
very important.
So that's
our
coming.
Our photos very important.
So I hope we'll get good photos of you all. So yeah. I mean, if you're going to take a selfie, do it on the run and do it quickly, but please be aware of people around you, especially on the first segment of the run. Everyone's a bit quicker. By the second segment, it's probably a bit slower. But on the bike is where everyone's got to be careful, and I don't want anyone holding cameras.
Yeah, except for me, right? I'm part of the ninja team, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Jeff. Okay, so now we know some of the rules of POWERMAN. What are the differences? Probably you can tell us your story. How do you get to involve in POWERMAN Malaysia?
So this is the 19th edition of POWERMAN. It's a very successful event in Malaysia, and has been, I think, since 2004. So it's growing. I work for Fresh Events, so we took on the license for POWERMAN. We don't own it; we license the event. So we have a long-term contract with the brand. I like to think we've been successful in taking it to a new level. So this is our third year of doing the event, of managing the event, and I plan to continue doing it. We've learned a lot, and we'll just keep trying to make it better from now on. So it's an annual event, one of the big flagship events in Putrajaya, I think, and I think it's something everyone's proud to be part of, and hopefully this year will be another great experience.
Just now you mentioned 19th edition, and how many you involved? In those?
This is our third.
All right.
For me personally, yeah. So,
okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break for another minute before we ask more questions.
Okay.
So based on your database and statistics, what kind of athletes that join POWERMAN, especially between classic and short?
Yeah, good question. So, 30% generally do classic and 70% do short. So the short's very popular. I think the short's accessible. Anyone can probably do it if you've got a medium fitness level. 5k run, 30k bike, 5k run, you can get through that. But classic, you've got to take that seriously. So 10, 60, 10, you don't want to underestimate that. So the people that do the classic tend to be a bit more hardcore, bit more trained up for it. But that's a generalization, I suppose. There's still some very fast people that do the short. It's also a fun distance. It's also not easy. It's still close to 2 hours maybe, or 90 minutes for the fast guys. So not to be underestimated. A lot of new people coming in. One of the great things after COVID was the newbies. People maybe had a bit more focus on their health, which was one of the benefits, I think, of a very difficult time. So a lot of new cyclists and new runners, and POWERMAN's a great event for that. There's not many duathlons. It's a complex event to organize. So, in Malaysia, there's maybe only 2 or 3 duathlon events in a year. So, most people jump to do POWERMAN. It's popular. It's a beautiful destination at Putrajaya. There are a lot of new people coming in, which is great to see. And most of them will do the short distance.
Do you think runners will have advantage in duathlon?
Oh, good question. Well, do you know, so this year I put on the application, do you consider yourself to be a cyclist or a runner?
Yeah, I
And that
saw
was
that.
interesting, yeah. So actually 70% said cyclist.
Oh,
So it's more of a cycling base.
yeah.
But of course, you've still got to run. You've got to be a decent runner. And the second run, especially on the classic, that 10K,
Yeah.
that's where you succeed or you fail. So you've got to be a bit of both for sure. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there.
We have to avoid second run having jelly legs.
Yeah, not easy.
Yeah. So okay, your tips for POWERMAN participants or athletes?
So hydration is key. It's a very hot event generally, especially if you're doing your classic. So don't underestimate hydration. Hydrate early, nice and constant. So put what you want on your bike ready for the transition zone. Get organized with that. Make sure you've got enough. You do need fuel. So water or 100 bras alone is not going to be enough. So you've got to practice that during your training, same as in a marathon, for example. So really think through your hydration. Speak to other people that have done it. Get lots of tips. Practice. Don't do anything new on race day. Look after your bike, make sure it's in good condition, but there is a technician at POWERMAN, so you can get them to service your bike. But you need to know your bike. Be prepared if you have a flat tire, what are you going to do? Be ready for that.
Be ready, yeah.
It does happen. Don't let that ruin your race.
Yeah.
That's worth thinking about.
Better we bring our own spare tube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have roaming mechanics, but it's hard to get them. So yeah, there are a lot of punctures in a race. So
Yeah.
bring a kit and know how to use it. And you got to be tough in the head. So be ready for some pain, but be ready for some pride when you finish the race.
Okay, last question, Jeff. Why we should get excited for POWERMAN Malaysia 2024?
You definitely should get excited. It's the world's biggest duathlon. If that doesn't excite you, nothing will. We're bigger than London. Malaysia has the biggest duathlon in the world, which is amazing. That's nothing to do with me. That's an event that has grown over the years and a community which has grown over the years. So it's an awesome community. The vibe is fantastic at the event. I live in Bukit Tungku and I see many people cycling and running, and everyone's positive and happy and excited, and you're going to have a great time at POWERMAN. So be safe, hydrate well, make sure you look after yourself, and just enjoy it. Unless you're pushing for a win, for a podium, enjoy it. Don't forget to enjoy it.
All the best to POWERMAN Malaysia 2024. See you on 8 and 9 June. All the best. See you there. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Awesome.